Okay, so here we are for the battle against 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙊𝙆𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊 for EDC Week 8. We are already locked for playoffs, so this battle doesn't mean too much for us, but at the same time we still want to win, right? That's just it's just how it is. So they bring the Torterra, which is Terra Ground. They bring the 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊, that is also Terra Ground. We are also Terra Ground on our Garganical. The only thing that's not Terra Ground is the 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊 because it's Terra Poison. So 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙊𝙊 looks pretty good. It does look pretty good into like pretty much everything, actually. Once it gets a single bulk up off, most of this team looks to be physical, or at least like things that could hit it would be physical. So potentially it's a Terra Dogi kind of angle here, but also Garg just looks pretty good because it's Garg. Actually, Enamorus is pretty bad into everything at this point, so I could just lead off with that. The safest thing is just to lead off with our Walking Wake and flip turn out. I'll just lead Enamorus. Honestly, I could just click a button with Enamorus turn 1 and not really care too much because the things that it was here for have not turned up. So yeah, that was like the 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊, the 𝙆𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊. Those were like the two main things that were problems for my team, and I just used it to patch up that gap. So yeah, Enamorus looks very, very expendable. And good luck, have fun to 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙊𝙊, first time ever playing them, so should be a fun one. They're going to lead it with 𝙆𝙍𝙊𝙊𝙊𝙊. That's fine by me, I'll get my damage. We'll get to calc to see how offensive you are. I assume either a U-turn or a Volt Switch is likely here, but a Moonblast will do over half, so I'm just going to click it. I'm not going to think too much about this, and if you are like modest or whatever, then that's like the only way in which you 2-hit KO, I think, because Thunderbolt does... Okay, well, Thunderbolt will 2-hit KO if you're just a max special attack. A Hurricane, that's not going to do enough. Puts me down to 242. And we do over half with the Moonblast, so there's a good chance that you are somewhat offensive. 242, 31%, so yeah, you're just like max. Which means we actually live another one, so I'm just going to go for another Moonblast. We'll live a Thunderbolt from this. And now no I'm Assault Vest here, so whether or not they stay in, actually, it's definitely a question. They're going to roost. That's fine. I don't mind. They're actually losing health here, so... And there's a special attack drop, that's definitely going to help. I kind of want to Earth Power, because I know you can't do anything. I could also just double into Garg and start cursing. If you're at -1, how much do you actually do? That's +1, -1. 36-ish on a mid-ground. So I will just switch into Garg, because if they want to U-turn, Volt Switch, whatever, then they can. Won't do too much damage to Garg, especially at -1. And it does get to keep this thing low, which is always nice. And I'm going to assume that they probably want to go out into their Torterra here, because there's not too much that actually is able to do a lot of damage to me. Vanta Black. It's actually this. Okay. So they probably Terra Ground Earthquake, right? Terra Ground is choice banded. It would knock me out if I don't Terra. So I think it's a situation where probably I do have to click the Terra button. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing here. And Avalanche would do a lot in return. Is that worth it? I'll just go out into Doris. They're going to double. They go into Twigs, which is the... Oh, if I clicked Avalanche there, this would be pretty much dead. Unfortunate, but you know, not a lot you can do about that. I'm just going to click Grass Knot, I think, on this, because you are really heavy. Torterra is extremely heavy, and if you Terra Ground, then you're going to almost die. Rock Blast would need 5 hits to knock me out if it's running Rock Blast. If it Shell Smashes and it's not White Herb, then it will die to this Grass Knot. Or it possibly dies to the Grass Knot, I should say. If it's not running a rock move to cover this, then it can't actually hit me, but They go into 𝙆𝙀𝙀, which is Heatran. That's fine. Big, like, 2 damage. And I'll just Earth Power you. They're just going to withdraw again. What, into Zapdos? Into Zapdos? Makes sense. And this time I think I'll just go out into Garg. This time I'm just going to go out into Garg. They can Roost. They can go for a Thunderbolt. I'm just going to start doing the Garg things. Yeah, they Thunderbolt this time. And I will Curse once. I don't want to Terror just yet, because it makes me weaker to Hurricane, which will hit me for more damage. U-turn doesn't quite put me under half. Maybe Recovering would have been a safer play, at least like long term probably would have been better, but Twigs comes out. Now the question here is, do you even knock me out? If I Terra Ground, then I don't believe you do. But I'm going to throw off the Avalanche instead. As it seems they're going for Roar, yes. Okay, so it's defensive Torterra, it's not Shell Smash. Nice, we get our damage. Happy with that. Walking Wake is absolutely fine for me. Why did that just immediately go to Flip Turn? I didn't even click a button there, it went to Flip Turn. What's your Water Switch in? Don't have great ones. I'll Flip Turn. I think Fez probably is a switch in here, so... Lilac, that sounds like a Fez. And this gives me Garg again. There is actually nothing that this can do to Garg. And this time I will just recover up, put myself back up at full. Ah, they taunt, okay. Good play. So you've seen the Avalanche, you shouldn't immediately go into Taunt. You may go into Zapdos. Do I care too much if you go into Zapdos? Not really, I'll just Earthquake. Okay, so I can't recover up on that, but I can recover up on what, Zapdos next time it comes in. If I'm not taunted already. So I guess it comes down to what they think my last move is, whether they think it's Earthquake or if they think it's... they go into 𝙆𝙀𝙀. What was that? Oh, that's perfect. So they didn't think it was going to be Earthquake last. And that's an almost dead Heatran. Love that. I think I'm just going to go into Wake. There's no real reason to not. If you go for Flash Cannon, then it's doing very little damage. You probably just set up rocks if I had to guess. Yep. And I'll Flip Turn. I don't want to miss. You may preserve this as a sack as well, so I think it's all round like the best play for me. I'm really surprised there was no Basculegion, because I felt Basculegion was so good into my team. Like, especially if it was AV or something like that, it just kind of chewed hits all day. Even if it was Covert Cloak with like Spadef, it would have been pretty good into my team, so yeah, a little bit surprised. Going to take down Heatran, potential for Flame Body. Not going to be the case. Okay. I think going into Crown here would be absolutely fine. Because you'll have to respect specs. And we are Shucker, so if they do Terra Ground, Garg, hang on, let's just have a quick look. Garg with base 60 to Torterra. Yeah, it was like max defense. There's going to be the Vanta Black. That makes sense. Okay, so it's not on Nerve, which is amazing. Because that would have been a problem. And I'm just going to Tachyon and get my damage. Because I do have Intimidate. They just EQ. Okay, so they don't even Terra and they EQ. It's going to do very little, and we Tachyon for like a solid, like, at least half. Okay, it's Life Orb as well, which is even better. get a crit. That might mean that it knocks it out. I'm sorry. Yep, that's tough. Okay, so the crit definitely mattered in just killing it on that turn. However, I think it had maybe one turn left to do something. So that's going to be that, I guess, with the Haxorus. So Zapdos, Boulder. I don't even know if Boulder knocks me out from here, I'll be honest. Depends on whether or not it's running Earthquake or Close Combat. Let's have a look. Even with Earthquake, it might not have its booster. Saying that, it will also potentially take a Tachyon, so there is that. I think we were like 261. I think we were like at a lot of health. Raijin comes in. So actually I'm 216, not 261. 216. Without a Shucker. It's a roll. It's not a favourable roll. I would rather just switch out here. I'd rather just be safe. I actually think sacking Doris is going to be my best course of action. It's part of me that wanted to calm mind up on the potential roost, but if they roost, then okay, they do. So I could have Tachyon. I could have calm minded, but I think it was better to play that one safe, and I'm just going to go for a Moonblast. Thunderbolt probably knocks me out. Yeah, it does. I don't know whether or not we're in range to get knocked out. After rocks, we might well be. 162, so I think we might actually be too low, yeah. Which would then require us to click a button that perhaps is less ideal. So I could just go into Wake and start clicking Hydro Pump. So I don't think that Dogi needs to Terra. I think it's better for me here to try and get my Recover off. So I'm going to Terra and I'm going to click Recover. And if they Hurricane predicting that, then that's just a really good play from them. Like, Hurricane would 100% knock me out. They T-Bolt. Okay, so we get this off completely for free, which is lovely. Hurricane will do a lot, but it should never 2-hit KO us. So I'm just going to recover again. Uh, 356. It might still 2-hit KO us, so I could. I think maybe it's better to recover one more time, but I could also just EQ. Because I really feel like at this point, you go into Fez. I could also Avalanche. Avalanche is completely fine. Missed the Hurricane, that sucks, but it's Hurricane. I will curse, I will curse. Okay, do Hurricane. Puts me down to 199. And then we recover again. They crit that one, or they crit a Hurricane? That would be a lot better for them, I feel, but... now they probably go into Fez, I would assume, and they Taunt. Okay, they go into Twigs. And I will, again, just Avalanche. I don't think they can afford to do anything other than attack me. If they roar me, then I out-prioritize them and I kill them with Avalanche. Or I don't kill them with Avalanche, they Terra. That is a good point. Or I might kill them. It looks like it's a roll. Okay, they're going to Synthesis. EQ on the neutral does do more, so we'll do that. What kind of investment have you got? I'm pretty happy to just keep doing this until you decide to rule me. You are in defense. Okay. So your last move is body press. So I'm just going to make the play into Walking Wake. We'll live at +2 body press, but you should synthesis. And this will immediately force progress. Like, I have to pump. I don't have a second option here. I've got to pump. But yeah, Fez going to come in. That's absolutely fine. Is that a 2-hit KO? It looks like a 2-hit KO. I'm going to go for it. Is it greedy? Yes, very much so. But I also feel like if you don't go for like a taunt or something, this might have just killed. Yeah, it does. Okay, so Fez goes down. This one is stupid, by the way. It really is. Like, I don't know why it was allowed, but it did. It was, and I did. You know, there's a few things that I questioned being allowed, and so I just picked them all up. Fairly simply. Have we seen this before? We haven't. You're not booster speed, so I'm just gonna Hydro. You could be Scarfed, but like Scarf doesn't knock me out. We're gonna miss the Hydro. That's a little unfortunate. A USD, Mighty Cleave. Does a decent amount of damage, but I can preserve this. I can definitely preserve this. Yeah, I'll just go out into Crook. There's no reason for me to not. I do need to preserve Wake just so I don't lose to Torterra. Now, I might be able to break through it anyway, but it really depends on what its item is. Are you Clear Amulet? You're not Clear Amulet, okay. So they just Mighty Cleave again, this will do very little. And this time I'm going to bulk. And because Torterra is as bulky as it is, I don't know even if at +1 I'm going to be able to do enough. Okay, they do have the close combat. So bulking was a little bit greedy. Maybe I live another one? Uh, 155 against Boulder. That is at -1. And we have no trouble. 155 is 46. Close combat should do 45 max. I can go for an Earthquake. Yeah, you do close combat again. We do be living. And EQ should always knock you out, unless you're Sash. You are not Sash. And then I would assume that Zapdos comes in. Yep. Makes a lot of sense. I will just go for Stone Edge in case you missed the Hurricane. You can always just U-turn as well. Actually, U-turn is pretty free, but U-turn means I go into Walking Wake afterwards. I do regret taking the damage. I should never have taken damage on Walking Wake. That was silly. But I also think that it should be okay. They're going to miss the Hurricane. Well, we can miss a Stone Edge in return, I guess. But we don't. This has been a very tough game for my opponent. But I can still win. Torterra can still win this game for him. Fairly simply, I think I've just got to click Earthquake. Good lord, this thing is bulky. They have Scorching Sands as their last move. There was many things that I was expecting in that last move slot. Scorching Sands was not one of them. That is very interesting. I guess I just want to burn everything. I'm just going to go for the Hydro. If we miss, I don't think Scorching Sands takes me out. But that's just going to be a 4-0. Good game to Hutch. Sorry for the hacks. The hacks definitely didn't help things. But I also don't think it changed the result too much in the end. I guess hacks could probably have done a little bit more, but it got like one more hit off, I think, without the crit. But yeah, good game. That puts us to 7-1. I want to say plus 26 differential, which is, you know, it's not bad. One game left of the regular season, and then we were in playoffs. Like you enjoyed the battle, subscribe, and until the next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.